MTL is one of the biggest discussed topics when it comes to Veve right now as a business. And some of you are wanting maybe a little bit more information and probably a better understanding of what the market could do after this actually arrives. So in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before we get started, if you are enjoying the content and you want to support me further, you can hit that subscribe button, and if you want to support me further than that, you can join the membership. I've been having some comments on the bass of the mic, how it's making people enjoy the video, so please let me know in the comments. I've tried to alter it. I have watched videos before on how to improve it, but I want to see if it's better today. Hopefully it is, and we can move forward with that. So there was an update in regards to MTL in the Discord AMA that happened, I believe it was on Friday. They discussed the minimum amount of gems you'd have to have, the percentage that they were going to take, the time length that it was going to take, and maybe some future updates that were going on. And we're going to discuss that today. I'm going to give you more information, and then I'm going to discuss maybe a little bit about what I believe the market could do in regards to once MTL comes. First of all, for those of you who don't know, MTL stands for Money Transmitter License. To put it simply, it basically allows the gems in Veve to come out as fiat, GDP, USDT, anything like that into your bank account. It's turning the gems into actual real money, and something a lot of people have been asking for and wanting for quite a while now. This is a great topic to discuss, and it's something that's really important, I feel, to make Veve just more credible as a company. A lot of the people I've talked to who have been into NFTs or just in general cryptocurrency have not got into Veve because you can't get your money out. People, when they play bets like this, want to make sure that they can instantly take their money out if it isn't for them. And it makes total sense. A part of a business model, especially where you can potentially make money, has to have an opportunity for you to take that money out. The likes of OpenSea and Immutable and even betting companies, you're still able to take your money out after reaching certain thresholds or paying certain fees in order to do so. So for Veve to push this forward and actually make this a reality, I feel helps make them more credible as a company overall, and will be important for their future moves to see how this market actually develops once this is the case. There was a screenshot that they showed on the AMA where it was just another screenshot about what the payouts were, and you can see it on the screen, right now the cash withdrawal history. You can see the amount, the status of it, the expected date of transfer. So it was just good to see a little bit more of an update on what was happening with the MTL, maybe what the system sort of looked like. There were some people on social media who were saying that Veve had lied and that MTL was never coming and they were just stealing your money. And I just don't get some of these people. I really don't. So they showed a picture just showing that the process is still going on. At the end of the day, I understand it's your investment and it's your money that you're putting in, but companies like Marvel and DC don't just sign with a company who's going to rug pull everything. Business doesn't work like that, and they wouldn't put their name on something that does this. So please just bear with the team when they're doing this, and don't make wild accusations without any proof whatsoever. It doesn't get anyone anywhere. It just creates negativity for no reason, and I really shouldn't even have to say that. Where are the updates then when it came to just the pricing and understand it a little bit further? Now, we found out there was going to be 1,000 gems in order to actually unlock what MTL is. So in your account, you'd have to have 1,000 gems in order for MTL to be able to trigger so that you can get your gems out. There's a minimum of 50 gems that you can take out and a maximum of 50,000 gems per week. This to me is actually quite good and probably the smartest move they could make in the beginning. There's going to be people who have made quite a lot of money in this space and maybe they want to take it all out right away. Making sure that they're getting the highest hit in the beginning will probably allow them to actually understand where their business is going to move forward in the long run, how much cash this is going to affect them and impact them through those who are taking their money out, and sort of how it moves from there. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have been saying that 1,000 gems might be a bit too much, especially for those who have just got into this space. Do understand it from that aspect. However, they have to start somewhere, and I feel this is a good place to start, and hopefully they lower it over time. They've also said that taking out the 50 gems probably isn't worth it because the bank wire transfer does have a fee involved with that, and Veve are also going to be taking 10% from what you're taking out in gems from your actual transactions. In addition to the bank wire transfer, there's always going to be a 10% fee when it comes to that. They've also mentioned that the Veve process itself can take about 5 days to actually accept that this is okay, and then the banks could take up to potentially 2 weeks in order for that money to be there. So it could be a total of maybe a 3 to 4 week process in order order to get your money from first initially doing it to actually reaching your bank. This is probably to go through a bunch of security things to actually make sure that the money you're taking out is viable and feasible to take out, and for all of them to accept that this is the case. So that is going to take a little bit of time. It's just the way it goes. There's nothing you can actually say more about that. And the other thing to add on to that as well is that you can't do 2 withdrawals at the same time. So one day you would withdraw 1,000 gems, you can't say to withdraw another 1,000 the next day until the transfer has been processed. Now, I'm not sure if that's processed solely within Veve or actually in your bank. I'm guessing it's just solely in Veve. So you're not able to take it out one day until the actual process has happened for the first one, and then you can do a second one. I heard they also mentioned about KYC, and that if your bank account details change and all that sort of stuff, you will have the ability to change that. So you don't have to worry about that front. I'm guessing they've went through a fair few things to make sure that this is safe and as best as it possibly can. And they're saying they're rolling out the 3rd beta sort of testing group, but they'll never disclose who it is, as it's done in private to make sure that people are not bombarded with stuff that goes on when it comes to that. The final thing they did mention is that they're going to be releasing a Medium article talking about the process in the next coming weeks, and I will be sure to do a video on the Medium article itself just to give you some more information when it comes to it. That is amazing updates then we are getting for MTL, just a better understanding of what's actually going on here and how to just interpret what we should be doing as we're moving forward. Maximum of 50,000 gems each week is actually quite high. I was quite surprised at that, but again, that is quite good as we've been a closed ecosystem for a fair while, and I think this will incentivize quite a lot of people to get in here as they realize, hey, we can actually take out a fairly decent amount each week from doing so. And because we've been such a closed ecosystem for so long, opening it up to more people who can get in from this aspect and actually take their money out could increase the amount of users that are coming onto this app daily. Let's talk a little bit about that further then when it comes to this closed ecosystem, because for so long Veve really has been closed. You can buy with gems and that's really about it. You can't buy with OME at the moment for any stuff. You can't buy with cryptocurrency. It's just gems that you're putting on from the account. Now, yes, you can do escrow from elsewhere to get gems into your account, but it's still gems at the end of the day. And that means that we've not really been able to see what the true market is when it comes to that. We've not had MTL, so people can't really take their money out in an easy way. And we've also not had the ability to pay with cryptocurrency. So we've not really had a true representation of what this market could do or has the potential to do. And for me, I think there's going to be quite a few shifts when this originally comes out. The market itself, I believe that people will sell off quite quickly right away. When the option for the 1,000 gems is there, I think there will be people who will want to reach that 1,000 gem threshold and take out some form of initial investment. And I do believe that the market may drive down quite quickly in that small window for it to do so. But what this also does is, as we'd mentioned before, is sort of makes Veve more credible as a company. You can now put money in and take money out with ease as long as you reach certain thresholds. So you can now buy the Disney Gold moments and sell them at the time that you feel is okay, and then take your money out if you really wish to do so. This to me is a really good thing, as it's something we've discussed quite a lot. It's allowing a lot of people to get out if they want, and a lot more people to get in who have been very skeptical on Veve because you've not been able to take your money out and because it was a closed system. So the way I'm understanding it right now is that there's going to be quite a few people who will try and sell off very quickly in order to reach that 1,000 gem threshold. And once they reach that, they'll take their money out, maybe they'll get back in, but I see a lot more people then coming into Veve itself because of now what you can do. And after that, there's obviously more things that can hopefully come with interoperability, paying with OME, and maybe even in the future, I think there was someone mentioning to take out with OME, but again, don't quote me on that. It might actually be a security, so I'm not too sure if this is even going to be possible. It's going to be a hard one to truly judge because we don't really know what will happen when it comes to this. With NBA Top Shot, there was a significant drop in the marketplace when it came to MTL, and this was because everything was released at the one time, and again, they have one thing that they cover, and that is NBA. Whereas with Veve, they cover a lot of different brands and licenses from the best companies in the world. It's not to say NBA is worse than all these licenses, but it is just to say that there is a bigger variety, and Top Shot was really the first one that came out with that sort of stuff. If Veve do it in the right way, then they could potentially see a lesser dip in the market when they're moving out with stuff. One of the things that I'd always thought that they should do is that when MTL comes, they announce something that keeps people in the app and wanting to stay in the app. This would make the most business sense, as they're making the decision to allow people to get out, but also incentivizing people to get in and actually stay in. This, to me, I feel would be the best business move for them to make. Again, they'll probably make better decisions than I do when it comes to this, and maybe one of the reasons they're trying to make sure this is out on a slower scale. There's also all the obvious reasons about laws. They have to make sure with every single country that is allowed to do this, they're abiding by every single law that they possibly can. And for those of you who are worried that it won't be in your country, what I would say is that every country right now that is already blocking cryptocurrencies, just in general for any platform, is most likely the ones that are going to be blocked. So if you're in places like Western Europe, America, Canada, Australia, and all that sort of stuff, you're probably fine. When we come to some other countries that are already blocking cryptocurrencies as a whole and you're not able to do anything with them, or they're illegal, then you're probably playing with fire there. What am I planning to do then when it arrives? What is my aim for when MTL comes? Am I taking out everything, or am I staying in, or am I taking out some? Well, my plan is to take out my initial investment. As I've said quite a few times, I've put around £1,000 into Veve itself, and I'm potentially going to take out a little bit of profit too, maybe £500 or £600 or so. But I'm really not taking out anything significant. I think there potentially will be some form of drop in the beginning when people are allowed to take their money out, but after that we'll quickly realise maybe a few people will want to get into this space now that you can take money out freely. That's one of the most important things I feel anyway right now when it comes to cryptocurrency and NFTs, is that you can move your money around whenever you actually feel like it. It's not restricted into the one place, and therefore people want to have that ability to do so. For me, I'm going to be targeting taking my initial investment out, something I think is important for any investment that you actually do, then allow everything else that you've got to just be money you can play around with. I always feel it's important to take profits. If you're not and you're wanting to just stick with everything, then by all means go for that. Everyone's market strategy is different, everyone's plan is different. I always feel it's important just to know what your plan is, why you're actually doing it, and just move forward with that. MTL is going to be one of the most interesting times in the market. Right now we're seeing a retraction from the massive run up we had in January, which is completely healthy and quite normal for these markets, although a lot of people maybe don't feel that way as they're panicking a lot. But maybe MTL will offer something new. Maybe there will actually be more users who come in and run up the price on some things purely because they now believe Veve to be more credible of a business. Maybe we reach the lowest of lows that we've seen since last year if this is the case and a lot of people decide to get out. Or maybe it incentivizes more people to get in and wanting to see this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on MTL as a whole and what you're planning to do when it arrives. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.